What's up, guys? Here with another announcement. On Saturday, June 22nd, we'll be going to Saudi Arabia. Our first fight in the kingdom will be a fight night that will air live and free on ABC. And the main event will be former middleweight champion Robert Whittaker versus 13-0 undefeated Khamzat to see who will be the #1 contender for the UFC middleweight championship. The co-main event, the #3 ranked knockout artist Sergey Pavlovich versus the #6 ranked Alexander Volkov. Also, Kevin Gastelum will be taking on Daniel Rodriguez. We've got Johnny Walker versus Volkan Ozdemir. Undefeated 12-0 Shara Bullet versus Ior Potiera, who has 15 of his 20 wins coming by first round finish. This card is going to be badass from top to bottom. It's going to be historic. It's our first ever show from the kingdom. Tickets go on sale soon, so make your plans for UFC Saudi Arabia, June 22nd, live and free on ABC.
I cannot wait. It's mad how it's all come together.
Yeah.
And mate, I'm looking forward to it. Got to not go too hard too quick because it is still about 4 months away. So just got to ease into it. And yeah, I'm looking forward to the fight. I understand he's a hard fighter. He likes to grapple a lot. He uses his reach and range to good effectiveness. He's got knockout power. But honestly, he likes to play the villain against these guys, against his opponents. But I'm looking for an honor. He's an honorable fighter. Like, we're going to get in there and we're going to have an honest fight. We're both going to leave it there. He's not a quitter. I'm not a quitter. Yeah. So I look forward to really, making history in Saudi Arabia. All right, y'all, go troll Manny Pacquiao. I don't want to keep playing games. We said we was gonna fight 3 months ago. We've been working on this deal for 3 months. Now it's time to seal the deal. And I don't know what's going on. I normally don't resort to this, but at times you gotta apply that pressure. There's too much cap in this universe these days. This is the third big high-profile fight of a high-profile fighter that, quote-unquote, we were supposed to get it on, and it came down to the show. I don't know what happened. Floyd, KSI, and I think Manny gonna do it, but I think he needs some extra pressure for y'all. I can tag him, but I want y'all to do me a favor. Go to Manny page and troll him a little bit. Tell him, come on, man, you've been a nice guy all this time. You gotta have one fight where you talk a little S.
Honestly, I think the sport of boxing is dead. UFC is taking over, and they're just trying to do anything they can to get the attention, the ratings back, because it's a dead sport, So good on the YouTubes. Good on them going out there doing business. They're making money, They're giving themselves a chance to change their financial future. So good on them for doing that. But these are freak shows. These aren't real competitive, like world-class athletes.
When UFC guys, some of the greatest guys, step in the ring and they're doing boxing, is it even still a fair fight at that point? Like, how much different is that? And what would happen if you stepped in the ring at this point with Jake Paul in your prime?
All of Jake Paul's accomplishments have been rigged. Look, he fought the shortest guy in the NBA to start his career against Nate Robinson. Yeah, this guy's 7 inches taller, 100 pounds bigger, and you're picking on this little NBA player, and you think you're tough because of that?
Tyron Woodley's a badass dude, right?
Yeah, but he was past his time, and he obviously took a dive. The first fight, you could tell he was holding back. He dropped him out of the ring, and he came back in, and then you could tell Jake made a little signal to him, and then he started going light. He didn't go hard. And then he only won a split decision that first fight. The second fight, look, there's like a little hand signal where he's like this, and Woodley puts his hand down and he knocks him out.
Really?
Yeah, dude. It's a freak show. 100%. I believe that every one of Jake Paul's fight is rigged.
Would you do a fight just to knock him out?
Yeah, but he would never fight me. He only wants to fight guys that are over the hill, in their 40s and 60s, like Mike Tyson. So Jake knows. I've seen Jake out in Miami. He knows who Daddy is. He knows who the king of Miami is.
Slicing through the competition at bantamweight. The God of War is back. UFC 300. Let's go. We are stamping another title shot come April 13th. former UFC champ Cody Garbrandt versus the God of War. No love, God of War. Title shots on the line. If you're on UFC 300, you better believe.
Khabib had a perfect career, nobody ever beat him, and he was like, he retired on top. And at the time, that was the fight that everybody wanted to see. So if it would be a time that I would have made a comeback for one fight, right after I retired, it was that time. But I always told myself, when I hit the 4-0, it's finished.
Give me Khabib's style. How would you analyze a guy like Khabib?
That is most dangerous when he put you with your back against the fence, because he's a master at chain wrestling. I'm very good at using fakes, creating distraction to get in your legs. I'm more at the dynamic guy. I call it a proactive and reactive takedown from the center. But Khabib is better when he's got his opponent his back against the fence. My strategy if I would have gone against Khabib would be keep the fight most as I can in the middle and not being afraid to go for taking down. I would have maybe the first guy that he fought, or one of the only first guy that would have tried to put him down. And I put down everybody that I fought. People were telling me that Khabib, after he fought Justin Gaethje, was going to grab the mic and call me out.
So that means Khabib would have gone up to 170 pounds and you guys would have fought.
I think it would be either 170 or a meet in the middle. I think most guys that fought Khabib were afraid of Khabib takedown, so they were fighting on their heels and they were getting backed up to the walls. Khabib could have beat me. I'm not saying I would have beat Khabib all the time. I was confident enough to take that fight that I was thinking that if I take that fight, I'm gonna beat him that day, at that particular place, at that particular, that doesn't mean I will beat him all the time. You have to think in a way that you tell yourself, if that happened, I'm gonna do that. I think a lot of guys, they make the mistake going into the fight, say, hey, I don't wanna go there, and once they go there, they panic.
Obviously, you've opened a fight in Ilya in Spain. I know you want that matchup again, but is there any chance he's coming over here to have a crack?
That'd be great. But I doubt it. Obviously, they've got big plans to do something in Spain, which they haven't done. And so for me, the timing would fit perfect at the end of the year to go over to Spain and get that belt back. And mark my words, I will get that back.
And your mate Israel?
Hey?
Your mate Israel?
Yeah.
He's pretty keen to get his belt back as well?
I know he's definitely keen. So, and I think the Springboks are here as well. So I think there'll be a decent crowd for both of them. So I think it's just meant to be. I think it's meant to be maybe them bringing that fight. Obviously, nothing's set in stone, but I reckon we'll make that happen.
Paul said it earlier, I'm obviously from Perth and I'm fighting for the belt in a UFC 301, but I'm a very proud Perth boy. I love the city, I love everything about it, so nothing would give me greater joy than to have a quick turnaround, bring the belt back to Perth and fight on UFC 305. I mean, I got to be at the last one, Volk was fighting, Jack was fighting, the crowd was amazing, it was super inspirational, and if I could have that same effect on another young fighter, that'd make it for me. So awesome to have it back. Can't wait to get that quick turnaround and show everybody what Perth guys can do.
I'm not sure what's going to be happening with me, but I do know some guys that are going to be definitely interested in fighting. I know a middleweight fella who's definitely wants his belt back, so I'm guessing we might be seeing one of those. I obviously know a couple of other guys who have plans, so I just wanted to say that I think it's was a great experience for me. I'll leave it at that, and I know that obviously August UFC 305 is obviously going to be incredible as well. So.
What's Joe Rogan's dream?
What's Joe Rogan's dream?
Joe Rogan, Dana White. What's Dana White's dream?
Did you just think I was Joe Rogan?
I totally did.
She just called me fucking Joe Rogan. You thought I was fucking Joe Rogan?
Yeah, I thought you were Joe
I was
Rogan.
bald before Joe was ever bald. Okay?
I know.
Just did a 2-hour fucking podcast. I flew here from Vegas, and she thought she was interviewing Joe Rogan.
Jesus. What's Joe Rogan's dream?
What's Joe Rogan's dream?
Joe Rogan, Dana White. What's Dana White's dream?
Did you just think I was Joe Rogan?
I totally did.
This is #1 bullshit.